Here are the top 5 trade deadline acquisitions that make sense for the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's go. As we approach the trade deadline, the Cincinnati Bengals could use help at 2 key positions in order to make a severe Super Bowl push. The Bengals don't ordinarily make deadline trades because that's not how they run the front office. But when you're in that Super Bowl window, there comes a time that you got to do things a little bit differently. So hopefully somebody hears this video and can see some of the logic in my thinking. Now, my top 5 consists of 2 position groups. There is logic behind each of these guys that I picked. They are really truly in no certain order, but I will save the 2 most high profile guys for very last. At number 5, at the running back position, Samaje Perine. Not exactly sure why he chose Denver over Cincinnati in the offseason, but has not been utilized to his potential out there in that offense. He was a very productive member in Cincinnati, and he fit our offense very well. I would love to see him back as a complimentary back to Joe Mixon to take some of the workload off of Joe. Here's Joe Mixon on Samaje Perine pre-Super Bowl a few years back.
It was great playing with P. Ryan. We were a great 1-2 combo. He used to, pound on the defense, and I used to just slice and dice through him.
Also, did you hear what he said there? P. Ryan would beat up the defense, and Joe would cut and slice and dice through them.
Thought it was a great compliment at OU. He was a great running back there, and I'm glad we worked out going to the same spot. By me knowing him and him knowing me, we obviously complement each other very well. So,
number 4, you may not, CJ Uzoma, another guy was very successful in Cincinnati at the tight end position, free agent signing with the Jets, and just hasn't lived up to the potential over there. He's sitting at the number 2 slot on the depth chart and really made some big splash plays for Cincinnati on their Super Bowl run that year. I'd love to see CJ Uzoma back in a Bengals uniform. Number 3, Hayden Hurst. Oh, yeah, Hayden Hurst went to Carolina, and I don't think he's too happy with his situation down there. I think he signed a 3-year, $21 million contract, and I almost bet that he would be willing to come back to Cincinnati. Not only was he a great receiver, he brought super awesome energy to the field, and Hayden Hurst made a big impact on this team last year. Now we get into the 2 guys that most people are looking at as possible trade deadline acquisitions that there will be some probably competition for. At number 2, I am going to put Darren Waller in that situation. He's a dynamic playmaker that is a little bit injury prone, but is in a losing situation in New York where he may not want to stay. If he was given an opportunity to go deep into the playoffs with Cincinnati, I think that would reinvigorate him a little bit. He would be a really good fit within this offense. I think Darren Waller would be an awesome contributor at the tight end spot. And the number to a little bit of the clips from this interview. You hear what Darren Waller's dealing with in New York. Don't you feel like he would be a great fit in Cincinnati? Let's watch.
Yeah, I don't got the answers. I can't tell anybody how to do their job. All I can do is do what I'm asked to do and go out there and try to execute that.
Were you open on the interception in the end zone?
I feel like there was opportunity to get the ball there. For me, all I can do is try to make a play on it when it does.
You're obviously expected to be a big part of this offense. What do you make of 1 target, 1 catch?
I mean, as a playmaker, that's tough to. It's tough pill to swallow.
Spot. And the number 1 player that's out there and available for acquisition at the trade deadline would be Derrick Henry. And Derrick Henry is closing in on the twilight of his career. He's taken a beating over his career, but complementary with Joe Mixon, he would have a very good effect on Joe's output. And what I mean by that is Derrick Henry is a big bruising back that can wear defenses down. And Joe Mixon would do better in the role of, the fast scat back with some strength in there. I think them two could complement each other. Joe Mixon's carrying the ball way too much right now and shouldering way too much of the load with the young guys that are not quite developing as fast as we would hope as Bengals fans. I think Derrick Henry would be a good fit for 1 year. I think that's the reason why Tony Pollard's not having a great year in Dallas, because he doesn't have Ezekiel Elliott there to be the power guy and take the brunt of the hits. Hey, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit the link down below. If you like this content, if you like my suggestions, forward them to Zach Taylor. Get that stuff to Cincinnati. We need a little bit of boost to make a big run this year. I hope you all agree. Much love to you all in the Blood fam. I'm Shane, aka Papa Blood, and I'm out.
I grew up in a place where they told you what to chase, told you how to run the race. Every move was on the page, but I didn't like their way. Had to fight and misbehave, had to find a way to change, had to leave to find my way. Caught up in a daydream, I beat my mind up there almost daily. It's how I pass time, no opinions safely. It's how I understand what I want in this place, see, cause everybody wanna tell you bad things. What could go